Welcome to Bubby Brister's Fantasy Football Podcast presented by Mountain Dew Baja Blast. Bubby is on bereavement this week, so I'm joined again by Nick. Nick, are you ready to break down week 13?
Yes, hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving and hopefully a great Thanksgiving weekend with these fantasy football second to last week of regular season football.
Yeah, it's crunch time now. Some of us have already been crunched. A couple people get crunched this week, and we'll see who gets to have fun next week in the playoffs.
True story.
Yeah, well, we'll start with two crunch teams this week. This was me, Pound Town, versus Art, stealing the wins. I won 120 to 91. We are both 5-8, and I don't know. Lamar Jackson is Fieldsian once again. Like, he's droppable, but I can't even drop him because I don't want to affect the playoffs for other teams.
Right. His Fieldsian effort, and it's been a couple weeks now in a row. Like something's broken. Like I don't understand. Like I said, I swear, if at the end of the season he's like, I played through an injury, I was still injured, and I played anyway, blah, blah, blah. You know how many that fantasy affects fantasy, and the sport betting in general. Like you thinking he's healthy because he's playing, but he's playing injured, and so he's playing not nearly as good. He's getting sacked a lot. Like it's just he don't look the same.
It's fraudulent. These are fraudulent performances from Lamar Jackson. Like when people who drafted him need him the most. He has 6, 10, and 9 the last 3 weeks. Like that's totally Fieldsian. I know we've been overusing that word lately, but this guy is what is he, a 3-time MVP?
Three-time MVP. He get drafted normally second round, early third. Like this guy, he's usually one top three quarterbacks off the board. So you should expect way better from a guy than this.
Then yeah, like this is below his floor even.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, and then Dowdle. I watched almost all of this Panthers game. They are a fun team. This was the fourth game this season with 30 or more points for Carolina. That's their most in 6 years. Dowdle and Hubbard combined for 35 carries between the two of them. It was split almost evenly. One of them had 17, one of them had 18. The team as a whole rushed for 164 yards. They didn't turn the ball over. They had 3 takeaways. The Carolina Panthers are who the Pittsburgh Steelers are supposed to be.
I think Carolina Panthers and the Pittsburgh Steelers are the same exact team because both of them are just going to be mediocrity this year. You know what I mean? Just they're fun to watch, but it's mediocrity.
But they're headed in different directions. Like how they got to be the same level of mediocrity is two different paths. Like the Steelers are on the sad path while the Panthers are on the up path.
Yeah, I mean, Panthers got a big choice this offseason to figure out because they have to. Are they gonna pick up Bryce's fifth year option or not?
I think you do it, and you also look for a new QB. I don't know why these teams are just throwing away these. Whatever the fifth year option is, price wise, is going to be an affordable rate for a serviceable quarterback.
You're gonna pay him a fifth year option. You're gonna pay him like the minimum of the top five quarterback salary, an average of top five QB salary for
No, no,
one
no,
year.
no, 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 no. That's not
Is that
top
it?
five. Franchise tag is top five.
Oh, okay.
This fifth year option thing is just like the mid going rate, basically.
Hmm.
Like a year or two ago, it was like 17 million, which is a lot,
Okay.
but
A lot, but
for
it's
a
not.
quarterback who's been in your system that is proven they can at least float your team without it bottoming out, I say you do it, and then decide if you want to give them the break your team structure contract.
They got to give him a better backup because your backup can't be Andy Dalton every year. It can't be.
Yeah, not this
Yeah,
version, Andy.
Tyrone Tracy there. He was the lead back for the Giants, but he was least productive.
Yeah, he was a fart. Amon St. Brown ruined a lot of people's Thanksgiving. He hobbled off the field, got a 0. AJ Brown picked up his slack though, 10 catches, 132, 2 touchdowns, 35 points, and a loss to the Bears.
Yes, he did. Actually, booming game for him there, which is crazy because the Eagles' offense is just in shambles right now. Not sure what's happening there at all. And Zach Ertz gave you 10 catches for 106. So that's what?
Yeah, turn back the clock night for Zach Ertz. Yeah, I'm in the part of my season where I'm just like collecting commanders to give me an enjoyable reason to watch. Diggs was a dud. Fantasy special teams ho hum at 28. Kenny Walker, I keep leaving him on my bench. He keeps doing decent. I think Ricky Pearsall is DOA, and
Yeah.
that's it really. I had Cousins on there just for fun on the
Yeah,
bench.
Ricky Pearsall started the season off really good and has never ever lived up to the first couple weeks because just I don't know. It's just the way the offense has played out for him or anything. His targets are way down compared to what was at the beginning of the season. It's just I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think it's his fault. Like he started out really well, and then he got hurt, and then a bunch of other guys on the Niners got hurt. So what they wanted to do got all thrown into flux. He fell down the depth chart. He's probably still hurt to some extent. They've had Purdy and Mac Jones in a lineup, so there's no consistency. They might get it right for the playoffs, but for Ricky Pearsall owners at this point in time, like he's not even. He's probably be droppable.
Yeah. And then still in the wins here, a myriad of disaster here going on this with this Sam Darnold 5 points, mainly because he didn't have to do anything. The game was over after the first minute went off the clock. You know what I mean? you know,
Yeah,
he,
this is the most excusable 5 point game you can get from a fantasy quarterback in terms of what they did in reality.
it's like, dude, he didn't have to do anything. It did it itself. Brees Hall, 68 yards rushing and a touchdown. In a shocking win against Atlanta. T. Henderson, 67 yards rushing. It was kind of interesting because the other guys, Stevenson, started chipping away at some of them carries. So that's something to have to monitor it going into the playoffs there.
Justin Jefferson, pour one out. This guy is
Ugh.
toast.
Man. And it's not his fault at all. Like it's not. Like we said it last week. Starting Max Bomber, an undrafted rookie quarterback, and you're thinking you're going to get something good out of this is not good. And then you said weeks prior to that you should have tried to trade him to get some kind of value because it's not going to look good in the future for him. And this is where we're at now.
Yeah, this is bad news for Jefferson owners heading into the playoffs. Did you see that pick six Max Brosmer threw?
Yeah, he just chucked the ball. He really didn't look where he's going. He just threw it, and he was like, "Dude, I would have trotted out my punter the very next play. I'd have been like, yo, my punter's out there now. Like you're not playing at football anymore. You're good. We're good. We're
Yeah,
good.
you gotta go home.
I'll put my mercy QB out there. I'm fine.
Pittman a dud, George Kittle a decent 10, Kareem Hunt 12. That's solid from him. 24-point kicker though. That's really the highlight of his team.
Yeah. McPherson went on a kicking spree for the Bengals to lead to their win there because Joe Burrow didn't do a lot, but it was just a lot of get it within field goal range, and McPherson handled the rest of the way. Olave 4 for 47 and a touchdown, and he has a back injury, something to monitor there. Um, Beyond that, nothing much at all. He had Aaron Rodgers on his bench, got 4 points. He got hurt. He was playing. He came in the game injured, and it didn't really do much better. So yeah, that's crazy. Your starting quarterback got 5. Your backup got 4 points. It's bad. It's a bad time.
Yeah, it's pretty bad when his two quarterbacks did worse than my single digit quarterback.
Yeah, yeah.
Travion Henderson, 5th straight game with double digits, but not much here from two teams that are broken. Smash Hawk, 166 to 129. He got the 40 high fives. Rob Spawn's team at 7-6. He's better than this, but he keeps getting beat. He's better than a 7-6 team.
Yeah, he scored a lot of points this year, but he's having some of the worst luck. Smith and Jigma has been slowing down. I guess they're really keen on him, not hit that 2,000 yard mark on receiving. So 2 for 23 is like what? Um, Josh Jacobs 83 yards. He didn't hit the end zone at all. 15 points. Um, Shakir only had one catch for 5 yards, which is unlike him, but it happened.
Yeah, you just can't trust Josh Allen to make a receiver.
Yeah, he has Jacoby Myers on the bench. He might be startable. Like he might promote him up the roster and pitch Shakur on the bench.
That's a good point. Yeah, he has double digits, 18 targets, 15 catches, 2 touchdowns the last 3 weeks. Yeah, so he's been indoctrinated into the Jacksonville offense now. And then Chuba Hubbard on the bench. That's a tough one.
Yeah, but you know what though? You want to start based off the last 3 weeks. You want to start him.
100%. Yeah.
So it's kind of you have to live with that. And then what would be terrible is if you start him next week and he gives you 5.
Right. Yeah. He did get 18 out of Christian Watson, 4 catches, 80 yards, and a touchdown. That was a good pickup for him. He bounced around the league a little bit for
Yeah, he
us.
bounced for a couple of weeks. He had a deep catch. He had one deep catch that hit pay dirt, so that definitely paid off for him there.
But yeah, Smash Hawk loaded, even on the bench. Brock Purdy, this was his 6th career game with a touchdown running and passing. He had 21 points, 2 total touchdowns. Bijan Robinson, 38 points, 142 yards, a touchdown. Bam Knight, didn't you just drop him?
Yeah, I got rid of Bam because I was expecting Benson to start to play, and then he didn't. So it was kind of like, oh, well, that didn't work out for me that well there.
He was also ineffective last week, 10 carries, 12 yards. So
Right. So, yeah, but he had a good bounce back game for 20 points there. Ted McMillan, his that one catch for 40 yards, a touchdown. I mean, that happened in overtime. That was overtime touchdown, I think, or it was right before overtime. It was like on the right sideline. He just got loose and went
yeah.
for a touchdown.
What's his name? Marcus Wilson?
Yeah. Yeah, Michael Wilson. Yeah, he came back down to earth there with Harrison back on the field. So Harrison came back and he came back down to earth, and it's definitely something to worry about personally thinking because he played against the Bucks, and everybody always catches on the Bucks. So for him not to go off like Trey McBride did for 82 and a touchdown, that's what you'd expect. Trey McBride is on a tear right now. Definitely setting some. He's gonna set some records for the season's over.
Good for the Cardinals for locking him up to that contract for the season because he probably left some money on the table after this season. He has no fewer than 5 catches in a game this year. He also passed Jimmy Graham for the most receptions by a tight end in their first 4 seasons.
Wow. You passed Jimmy Graham and tight end stuff, man. You know you're doing good.
Yeah. Devin Neal, that was a shrewd pickup and play for 13 points out of the flex spot.
Yeah, pretty good there. He had Dolphins defense give him 16 points. Getting double digits from Dolphins defense is always a good thing. Even he had the backup for the Rams, Corum, 81 yards and touchdown. He monogamy here with 180 yards rushing and a touchdown. He has 27 more points. He has lots of options there. He's not that deep at wide receiver though. That's the problem. He's heavy at running back. We've always said it, but his wide receiving core is lacking.
Chris Rodriguez, 41 yards and a touchdown for the Commanders. So Bill is officially done. But yeah, good win for Smash Hawk. 40 high fives are coming his way. Renegades of Funk almost got the high points, fell 5 short. He won. He's 5-8 though. Slade lost a game he had to win here.
Yes, yeah, he had to win this game. Slade, there's just trouble. He started Zay Flowers, 0 points. I mean, 0 points, man. Come on. 2 catches for 6 yards. He got 0 points because he fumbled. Didn't he fumble or something? Like it was like a fumble or something. That's why it gave him like no points or something. Rome Duje, 2 for 8 yards. Like,
yeah,
it's like, dude, what the hell?
He's frustrating. He's JMO like the second half of the season. He got off to such a good start the first 4 weeks. He's only had 2 double-digit points since week 6.
Yeah, CeeDee Lamb had a nice game, 7 for 112 and a touchdown. Kyron Williams had 72 yards and a touchdown. And Chase Brown continues his steady play, even with Joe Burrow back, with 78 yards total there. And Dak had put on a great effort against Kansas City last Thursday.
Chase Brown is the 16th ranked running back. It seems like he should be higher than that because we talk about him every week. He's only had one single digit game the entire season, and that was
We've
back
only
in week
talked
3.
about him. We only started talking about him after Joe Burrow got injured.
Yeah.
Before that, Joe Burrow he wasn't getting the ball at all. And Joe Flacco got the game, their whole offense changed up, and then Chase started being used.
I guess we got to give it up for Kyle Pitts. He decided to play football this week.
Yep, I think that's a little bit of a Kirk Cousins there, 7 for 82. Yeah, and also Drake London didn't play either, so the ball had to go somewhere.
Good point. Yeah, 7 catches on 8 targets. Bo Nix got to play against the Commanders, so he threw for over 300 yards. Jonathan Taylor had a good fantasy day. The Colts are kind of taking
They're free falling right now.
Yeah. DeAndre Swift, 125 yards, a touchdown.
Man, again, Philly got ran the hell on over. I have no idea how they ran so well against Philly's big defense line. That says a lot about what Philly's doing right now, and maybe they need to blow that shit up.
Yeah, this is how bad it was. Swift had 125. Monogany had 112. This was the first time the Bears had 2 running backs with over 100 yards in the same game since Matt Suhey and Walter Payton did it on November 10th, 1985.
Matt Suhey? Who the hell is that?
He went to Penn State.
Who the hell is that? Matt Suhey.
Some of these Pennsylvania fools might know. Yeah, he went to Penn State.
Probably. Davante Adams once again finds the end zone twice, 4 for 50 yards. I mean, Davante, man, he just ride it out. Like, this is a really good job for you here, man. You're an end zone vulture. He's the end zone vulture. Like, we've seen running back vultures. He's a wide receiver end zone vulture now. He just doesn't get all the big yards anymore, but within 20 yards, he goes right to the end zone. You're not stopping him.
Yeah, I was going to call him a touchdown maven. And watch out for this come next year in August when we're drafting, because 14 touchdowns again is going to be a high bar. And his yardage total isn't as high as it typically has been in his career. So he is a candidate for a fallback next season.
He's candidate for fallback, or even if he doesn't get 14, and he'll get more now before the year's over, because there's still like 4 or 5 games left.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he could get up to like 16 to 18. Technically, he's averaging a touchdown a game.
Right, and that's not going to be easy to replicate next season.
Right, but even if he gives you 10 touchdowns next year, that's still solid.
Yeah, 10's good.
10's good. You know what I mean? 18 is like ridiculous, but
yeah,
10 is great. 18 is ridiculous.
But if you're drafting him for 18 and you get 5, like, we're talking Lamar Jackson stuff.
Yeah, now you drafted him 3rd round thinking you're going to get that. You're like, sir, you're not getting that. George Pickens, 6 for 88. He made a couple of short passes. He took a couple of short passes long. A lot of his plays were. Johnson for the Giants, that tight end, 3 for 29. My man literally sold the Monday night game. My man had so many penalties and drop passes. Ridiculous.
Travis Etienne only 8. He fell down, but it didn't hurt Renegades of Funk here. He had 25 from the Bills defense, so.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, Bills defense definitely came alive against Pittsburgh there. Fantasy special teams gives you well over 40 points. You're sitting good. TJ Hawkinson sighting, 6 for 59.
Yeah, that's the undrafted rookie quarterback just looking for the tight end, essentially.
Yeah. Let me look for my safety blanket. Vidal for 30, 30 points for 126 and a touchdown. I mean, that's something there. It's not nothing. It's something.
He's a guy who has a big week every other week, right? Yeah.
Right.
Listen to this. 2, 28, 9, 27, 7, 27, and 5, and now 30.
Yeah. So now this next game will be Philly. It's gonna be terrible. It's gonna be terrible. Philly's got ran on. They're gonna stop the run at all costs, and they're gonna destroy Vidal next week.
Is Jacoby Myers the new number 1 in Jacksonville? Because Brian Thomas only had 2 catches this week.
Yeah, I think Brian Thomas's time in Jacksonville is over. I feel like he's a bit disgruntled. You know what I mean? The drops earlier this year, the new head coach, they're not working out well. I think he's going to want to move off somewhere. I wouldn't be surprised if he's traded this offseason.
Hmm, that's interesting. Um, where are we at? We are at Punishers 141 to Jones's 103. Jones is done. He was 5-5. He's now 5-8. That's a 3-game losing streak. Hein wins his second in a row. 141 to 103 wasn't even close.
Yeah, Jones, three game losing streak. The end of the season is a tough way to go out. He can't stop the bleeding at all. Um, when you're looking at what went wrong for his team, for real, it has to be his wide receiver position, the inconsistencies. Lad McConkey, 4 for 39 touchdown. Lad was really blowing up at the beginning of the year, and then the Rams, not the Rams, but the Chargers offense really fell apart. Not really fell apart, but they changed their dynamic of like just Herbert launching the ball. Everybody's getting 100-yard games. They weren't happening anymore.
Just very
And
unpredictable all over the
yeah,
place.
Debo 5 for 64, 11 points. You know, Genty's numbers has just been putrid. 18 points is respectable, but 31 yards carrying for a guy that you draft him to be a bell cow to get these big runs. This is just not happening. He's getting a lot of catches.
He has 32 carries for 81 yards the last 2 weeks. Make that 38 carries for 88 yards the last 3 weeks. 0 touchdowns.
That's like two. It's like two. That average like it's like 2 point something a carry. That's like benchable. Aaron Jones Sr. after he had a really hot game the week before, he definitely fell off the boat here. 3 yards and a fumble. That's that's not good at all. Um, and he had a losing head coach with the Eagles, of course. Xavier Worthy, 11 points on his bench, and Scary Terry appeared, 7 for 96 and a
Yeah, he
touchdown.
should have played him. I don't know. I understand not wanting to play him because he hasn't done shit all year, but at the same time, like he's finally healthy. Like if you were gonna throw him in the lineup, this would have been the week. But did you mention Judkins 91 yards and 23 points?
Yes.
Okay, well, like hats off to Shador for playing capable quarterback play to where they can still run the ball effectively at least.
Yeah, the problem with Shador is like he holds the ball on too. He just holds the ball too long, man. And he even mentions that at the press conference, he's talking about it like he just needs to let it rip. He can't just think about it. He just it's like you see it, just do it. You know what I mean? You can't just sit there and think about it. You got to just trust your talent and trust talent around you and make a play. Um, I tell you what, Jerry Judy needs to go.
Yeah.
Jerry Judy he is not helping his case at all.
Enough.
Tampa Bay Punishers though, 2 game winning streak. Keep the good times rolling here. Stafford, even though he had a bad game statistically, um, 18 points, respectable. Derrick Henry, 60 yards and touchdown, 21 points. I mean, you got to look at the bright side. It's the bright side of the Ravens offense. This is it, And his numbers would be better if Lamar wasn't so bad.
Yeah. Playing Tajay Spears, -1 yard.
Yeah, but got 8 points. You know what I mean? That's that. Hey, you know what I mean? That's pretty good.
Is he that thin at running back? I guess so. Jordan
I guess
Mason's his only other
so.
back.
Yeah, and Jordan Mason is he's questionable. He's a questionable play. Waddle 3 for 40. Um, Higgins 5 for 65.
He's been pretty okay last like
Yeah,
5 weeks or so.
okay, but not this. This ain't playoff football. These aren't. This is not a playoff roster.
You don't think so?
I don't think so.
I see what you're saying. He's definitely propped up by Stafford and Derrick Henry. And then
Right.
Wandale has had a very good season. 45 points from the Seahawks defense. That's got to be a record for our league all time.
Holy shit!
Did you know
50.
that?
It has to be 55 points on special teams. That's why he won this game. Holy shit.
I didn't notice that until I literally just said it. Like, oh
A
my god.
touchdown, a touchdown, 4 picks. Their number one ranked offense, their number one ranked defense now because it's 45 explosion. You know what I mean? 4 sacks, a touchdown, a forced fumble, 4 interceptions. Like, golly.
He had the Vikings kicker who didn't even score against his own defense.
Right. That's tough. It didn't matter. And it didn't matter.
Didn't matter. Oh, he picked up Cade Otton. He was my guy.
Yeah, he picked Kate Auden. He had Chris Godwin 3 for 78 on this bench there. Um Coming back healthy. So Chris Godwin might be a play not this week, probably maybe week after, probably. I mean, depending on what it looks like, him getting reintroduced in the offense and how they're using him.
Right, yeah, like depending on what he does this week, he might be able to have a little trust starting him in the playoffs, which he will be in because Jones will not be.
Right.
On to the next one. Mile High Salute. Brandon, 7-6 versus Sweetness, who falls to 6-7. Just an all-time collapse by Heater this year. He only got 83 points in this game. He's on a
No.
2-game losing streak.
No.
Brandon scored 138. Joe Burrow, he showed great patience in picking him up and then sitting on him for, I don't know,
Sit on for a
3
while.
months.
Yeah, he sat on for a while to make sure he was going to be nice, well cooked to play. And, good on you, man, because you might get good playoff football. We'll start with Brandon here. Joe Burrow, 26 points. Saquon Barkley, 56 yards.
Even I'm
9
starting to
points.
panic now. I've been defending him as a fantasy player most of this season, but
Yeah,
this is
yeah,
not the time of the year to be getting 9 points. And the
yeah,
Eagles are just looking worse and worse every week.
yeah. This is not. If you're trying to make the case for this guy a long time ago, and now I'm looking at you like, you sure about that? You sure about that?
I'm
Because this is
wavering, but
ugly.
you have him in your lineup. I don't think you feel bad about it, but at this point, you're not excited about it either.
You're not excited about it at all. James Cook saved his team here this week. Circling that one. James Cook, um, 44 yards. He had a fumble, second week in a row. That's weird. But yeah, 30 points though, really solid. Cortland Sutton, 5 for 62 and a touchdown. That touchdown came late. So, call it what you, hey, take it how you get it, right? Jordan Addison, 5 for 36. Again, shitty quarterback. RJ Harvey, 35 yards and 2 touchdowns.
I feel vindicated. I saw that he was going to do something this year. I was early on him, and, I didn't have time to wait around, but it looks like it's going to pop off, and he's going to have a 3-headed running back monster going into the playoffs.
Yeah, yes, maybe. It might be two-headed.
Barkley might not be the monster out of these 3. That's
right.
crazy.
He won't be the monster, which is crazy. He had Niners defense on his bench, gave him 19 points, which is interesting. I'm surprised he didn't start the Niners defense against Cleveland. But he started the Eagles against Chicago. And Chicago's been on a tear.
That's a fail.
And that's a weird one there. He had Patriots kicker though, 14 points. He was dialing up them points over there.
But to the cold heater.
The cold heater, man. The collapse of collapses here. Jared Goff, though, 28 points, respectable. And Gibbs have been kind of quiet. He's been held in check. From his explosions he's been having. Nick Chubb, 11 points, 34 yards, touchdown. The Texas offense isn't exciting. It's not exciting at all. This is a very bland offense. It is bland.
I'm going to get to how Chubb scored this touchdown when we get to your game.
DK Metcalf, 3 for 32. Womp womp. He started Cooper Kupp, 3 for 24.
This is just sad. This Metcalf, Kupp, Ferguson, Allen, Colts defense, Eagles kicker, Rams head coach. This is just a factory of sadness.
Like, I'm trying to get through this. I'm like, are you serious? You know what I mean? And he still has Tucker Kraft, who's out for the year, on his bench, hoping he might be back. I don't know.
The only thing worth talking about for Heater this week is Josh Allen. 6 consecutive seasons of generating at least 30 combined passing and rushing touchdowns. Only Fantasy Hall of Famer Drew Brees has more with 9 from 2008 to 2016. But the bad news for Heater is he did it on his bench. He probably wishes this was a 2-quarterback league to have Goff and Allen, because those are the only guys doing anything on his team other than Gibbs.
And another positive note is that Mike Evans' IR spot should be available in 2 weeks.
Just in time to prepare for next year's draft.
Yeah, prepare for next year's draft. Yeah.
Next up, only 2 games left. Both these games at the bottom are really close, but Lionheart pulled out the Monday Night Miracle for his 3rd win in a row. He improves to 11-2. That's one of the best regular seasons in our league's history. He wins
Sure.
135 to 130. Freeman is a fucking doormat. I don't know what to say, really. Like Caleb Williams 15, DJ Moore 4. So that at least that is all right in the world. His Williams to Moore stuff.
All is normal in the world now because DJ Moore is scoring no points again as he starts him. You know, Tony Pollard 60 yards and a fumble.
That's actually good for him, and it still only got him 9 points.
You know, Gainwell had 20 yards. He came back down to earth a bit there. Jamar Chase 7 for 110.
Back from his suspension?
Yeah, back from a suspension there. His target share is still really high with 14 targets, so nothing wavering there. Gets a hold. He's a Derrick Rose of wide receivers. He just gets a shit ton of targets. You know what I mean? He catches like half of them. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you get so many targets, you catch half.
Yeah, I see it. Hopefully he doesn't have the career arc that Derrick Rose had, though.
Oh, no. Don't do it.
Kelce fell in the end zone.
Yeah, he fell in the end zone there. And that tough Thursday night there, started Daryl Mooney. 2 for 25.
Yeah, wow.
You know what I mean? And not a lot of help on the bench. You know, he has Garrett Wilson hurt. Hampton should have came back this week, but he's come back next week. So it's like, dude, yeah, you're just not here, but Freeman's year just kind of got derailed by injuries. Really, he dealt with injuries and like that. So just it's tough time. Hampton should have been the other bell cow, but Gainwell ended up taking a spot up for him all year. It never came together for him.
No. Yeah, once Burrow went down, his whole plan kind of just fell apart.
Yeah, so it's hard to deal with injuries. That's the key to his season this year.
He had a good fantasy special teams though.
Oh yeah.
What is that? Like 57?
Yeah, that's high. That's the high this week.
That's almost half his points.
Yeah. That's actually
Lionheart
amazing.
though, Christian McCaffrey, he remains on pace to be the Ohtani with 1,000 yards each receiving and rushing. In week 13, he joined Fantasy Hall of Famer Marshall Faulk as the only players in league history with 800 yards from each in a single season. So, Ohtani, when are you going to give me this Ohtani claim?
Never. He's not Ohtani. So, Jalen Hurts. I'm moving right on. I'm skipping over that and moving right along to Mr. Hurts here. 23 yards. That offense may be in shambles, but Jalen Hurts is still productive. He got some production from Montgomery though. 32 yards and touchdown. 14 points.
That's his first double-digit point game in 2 weeks.
And watch out, Jamo Williams is productive because he's the number 1 wide receiver now. He has no choice.
Yeah, once Amon-Ra St. Brown went down, you knew Jamo was going to get all his looks, and that's exactly what happened during the Thanksgiving Day game.
One thing I noticed watching that is Jamo don't got St. Brown hands, though, because Jamo dropped some pretty easy passes, too. And it was kind of like, what's happening? Like, you're hella talented, but you don't got it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he seems to not be the headiest football player.
Right.
He's always barking after plays too, and yeah, he's fun to watch. Before the whistle is blown.
Right. Dobbs 4 for 20 yards and a touchdown, fell in the end zone there on a short route. Brock Bowers 4 for 63, 2 touchdowns. He's the Raiders offense. That's it.
Ramondre Stevenson, that's why he won this game. He needed him to not shit the bed, which he had been doing lately, and he got 15.
Like I said, so Stevenson got some carry share, and I was a little concerned. He had 12 carries for 40 yards, you know, and I was noticing that because Stevenson was playing a lot more carries than Henderson was this game, and I was kind of like, what's happening here? And I was noticing that, and then uh, I don't know, maybe it was like a lot of garbage time carries because the Patriots were blowing him out that much. The Giants blowing him out that much. There's like, oh, let's just play Stevenson to save Henderson, but I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. It's crazy he survived that 57 to -3 fantasy special teams matchup.
Yeah, that's not good. When your special teams is negative points, man, that's a vacuum for hell. He even had Quentin Johnson on his bench for 3 for 23 and a touchdown, which is a rare sighting for him there. Pacheco is a head scratcher for me. I just don't know what to do with him anymore,
He started pulling away and then he got hurt, and like Hunt has fully usurped him now.
which is crazy. Because there's
Yeah.
no way that dude should be taking his spot, but it happened. And Marvin Harrison Jr., like I said, he was 6 for 69 back from his surgery, and he lucky got injured a little bit in that game. He was had a heel issue.
Yeah, so he should be able to get him back in his lineup next week, unless that heel is something to worry about. Last game, this is you, 140 to 137. You almost made it so Jordan couldn't win the #1 playoff seed, but he eked you out 140 to 137. You're 5-8. Safe to say your season's over.
Yeah, yeah. My head coach fought really hard here because I told him Ryan was on the wall, and the team really tried to rally for him there. It didn't work out too well. I did have a avenue for a win here. Um, I played the wrong tight end. I played the wrong tight end. If I played the proper tight end, I probably would have won this game, and I would have a puncher's chance of making the playoffs. But you
Yeah,
know,
I guess mathematically you could say that, but did you even consider playing Brenton Strange over Gadsden?
in a way, I did because Strange was on a tear. But then I was thinking that maybe Gadsden's been. I had Gadsden for a while. I was trusting the person that got me here.
Yeah, he's fallen off pretty hard the last couple weeks, but he was playing the Raiders too, and I guess Strange was playing the Titans, but Strange has been banged up and pretty ho hum all year.
Yeah, I started Ravens defense too. That's not good. But um, Jackson Dart, 139 touchdown. Definitely not Jackson Dartian of a game there.
Yeah,
Um,
he should have won you this game, and he didn't.
yeah, he should have got me at least 25. He didn't give me that. Bucky Irvin's back though, 61 yards and a touchdown. Welcome back, Bucky. Great seeing him play. Tyler Algier fell in the end zone, 20 yards and a touchdown. Nico Collins had 5 catches for 98 yards, and he rushed into the end zone.
I gotta call a timeout here. This is why you lost. Nico Collins had an easy touchdown. He stepped out of bounds, and then Nick Chubb got the vulture score.
Oh man, that's tough. Damn, that's tough to hear. Well, you gotta live. You gotta live with it, man. You gotta keep pushing on. Rasheed Rice 8 for 92 yards and 2 touchdowns. See, this is what I drafted him for.
Yeah, he's been very good.
He's been really good. Mbuka though has been on the absolute slump of slumps. 4 for 42, 8 points. It has been working out for him well. Defense has been keen on him. What can you do?
One double-digit game in his last 6 games. Does this affect how you view him in 2026 drafts? The way he's finishing the season?
I don't think so. I think you need to see what he looks like with Mike Evans and Godwin playing because he's never had all three of them all three play at one time. And that's your wide receiver 1, 2, and 3. So you got to see how they all fit together. Right now, they've only had like one of two or two of three at a time,
Mm-hmm.
or just him playing with a bunch of 5 and 6s. So we'll see how it goes. I did have Devin Singletary here, like explode off the bench for a long run for a touchdown. That was
He
interesting. I was not going to start him. I was going to start him, and he exploded for that. And I'm like, well, dang.
Yeah, he's been surprisingly good since Scottaboo went down.
Yeah, he's showing himself some utility that if the Giants want to get rid of him next year, he could find a home somewhere else.
Yeah, or if a fantasy team lost a running back the last 2 weeks and you stumbled on him on the waiver wire, like now you don't need to feel terrible about playing him going into the playoffs.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, For Jordan, though, Patrick Mahomes, 4 touchdowns, 261 yards, very clean game for him, 41 points. That's my player of the week. You know, it's he's the one essentially knocked me out. Patrick Mahomes played Patrick Mahomes football on Thanksgiving there. A Chain, 131 yards, carrying and a touchdown. A Chain's got 1,000 yards rushing now this year, isn't he?
He's been great. The Dolphins are 5-0 when he has at least 20 touches in a game. He has 1,034 rushing yards, 6 touchdowns. He's the number 4th ranked running back. He was drafted 20th overall. If we redraft today, he's a top 5 pick.
Yeah, we were worried about drafting him high because he came in the season with an injury designation, and he's always been injury prone.
Mm-hmm.
And this year he's avoided the injury altogether.
And there were a lot of questions about the Dolphins too.
Yeah, and we're still questions.
Yeah, he's the only one who hasn't been a question, basically.
Right, exactly. Warren, though, for Pittsburgh, 35 yards and touchdown. Very consistent. Puka, 6 for 72. He's come down to earth a bit.
He made an incredible catch, though. I'm not even going to try and explain it. Just see if you can find it.
Oh, I saw it. It was like a backhanded catch. It was like backhanded. He was draped all over the cornerback, and he caught it with a backhand, one-handed, and then tucked it in. I was like, dude, what?
So ever since he broke onto the scene, this isn't fair of me to have done, but at the same time, I'm like, how can a guy be this good and be like a 7th round draft pick? But seeing like that catch and then the body of work he's had 2 years, like he's the real deal.
I mean, he's Puka's one of them guys where the players say he's a really nice guy, and he's grounded. Like he's a hard worker. He shows up early, stays late. Type player.
After 2 seasons, he's on a Hall of Fame trajectory.
Yes. I'm really interested to see if the Rams lock him down next year. Because next year will be his 3rd season, and that's where you could, because he's a 4th round draft pick. You say 7th round. He was like, what draft was he?
Let me look. I think it's lower than 4. I think it's 6 or 7.
Because it was like that. He's on a 3 or 4 year contract. He's getting paid peanuts.
Yeah, he's getting paid peanuts, and there's no 5th year option tied to him.
Right. So they need to next year they need to throw some money in his pocket and treat him like the man he is.
Yeah, 5th round.
Yeah, 5th round. That means he probably has a 3 to 4 year contract on him. Then they go ahead and just lock him down.
He has a brother too, somewhere like on a practice squad or something.
Oh, okay. The Nakulas are out there. Devontae Smith, 548 average game. Ty Warren, 3 for 22 and a touchdown. He got in late with that touchdown there. He's been very consistent of late with the touchdowns. He's been getting in the end zone a fair bit this season. This is 4th one. He's 4th ranked tight end this year, so not bad for him at all. And Jennings actually found the end zone as well for 439.
Yeah, Jennings is saving his season a little bit at the end here for fantasy purposes, especially. Tyler Warren was drafted 104th. Great pick by Jordan.
Yeah, very consistent there. Definitely concerns, though, for Jordan entering the playoffs, though, because I just don't know how, this Alvin Kamara injury situation, Brandon Ayuk is, not going to play football for the Niners this year at all. He's just not.
Yeah, drop Ayuk, drop Mixon, get some handcuffs for Achane, maybe Warren if you can get whoever's behind Gainwell just to shore something up. I guess Ollie Gordon is the Achane handcuff, but yeah, this bench is almost unacceptable.
yeah, it's just, dude, what? Mixon should have been gone out for season. You got to get rid of that, And I look at Jordan's team, and I just look at a team that did not face injuries.
Yeah.
It's like you look at everybody, Mahomes healthy all year, Achane healthy all year. Puka missed a little bit of time, but exploded when he needed to. Smith played every game. Warren played every game. James missed some time, but he could float it with his bench players able to float it enough that made it work.
Yeah, he just needs to shore up the bench here between because if you're gonna carry someone like Ollie Gordon, the bottom 2 spots between Ayuk and Jonnu Smith are upgradable. Like those guys aren't They're nothing. They're less than nothing. Like, get a quarterback, Even just to pad your bench points in case of a tie.
Yep, that's true.
At this time of year, especially. But yeah, great season for him. 10-3. We'll see if he can catch Brindle next week. He's on a 4-game winning streak. My player of the week is the Seahawks defense, just because I've never seen anything like that before.
Okay.
And we will go to the standings in the Wingstop playoff bracket. Can Jordan catch? Ooh, listen to this. Brindle has 1,773 points. Jordan has 1,775 points. So if Brindle loses and Jordan wins, points are neck and neck.
That's a very. I'm not sure I've ever seen that before.
Right, yeah. The number 1 playoff seed is on the line this week.
On the flip side, New Day Co-op has the final playoff spot right now. He's holding the final spot, but Sweetness is right there nipping at him. And they have the same record. So Sweetness has to win this week, and
Which
New Day
I
has
don't
to
think he can
lose.
do. He is falling and he can't get up.
They're both on losing streaks. New Day lost last week, and Sweetness and Heaters lost 2 in a row. So it's bad time.
I trust Slade's team more than I trust Heater's team. But that's basically the only playoff spot up for grabs. I guess if Brandon lost to the Punishers and he fell to 7-7 and Slade won and Heater won, that would come down to points then. One has points locked up, so he's clinched.
Yeah.
So we need to see where Brandon, Heater, and Slade are in points. Slade has 1,751. He has about 140 more than Heater. Brandon has 1,691, which is 60 less than Slade, which he's probably not going to catch that. There's virtually no chance.
Yeah, that is true.
And then that's it, really. It's Hall of Fame time.
Well, wait a minute. We could see. Yeah, that's that. I guess that is it.
Yeah, the rest of us suck. There's only really one playoff spot on the line.
Yeah, because right now the playoffs start today. You'd have Smash Hawk versus Spawn, Mahi Sloop versus Tampa Bay, and New Day Co-op versus Jordan. There, with Lionheart with the bye week.
Yeah, the only spots are up for grabs are the first spot and the last spot. So it's Hall of Fame time. I mentioned him earlier in the episode. Do you remember any former players I mentioned earlier?
You mentioned Walter Payton.
I did mention Walter Payton. It's not him.
The dude from Penn State, which I do not know that guy's name.
Matsui. It's not Matsui.
You mentioned Marshall Faulk.
He's already in. You're on a good run. I'm impressed.
You're pretty good at this. You mentioned a wide receiver.
I'll give you a hint. I've mentioned a tight end when I was talking about
Jimmy Graham.
It is Jimmy Graham. Welcome to the Hall of Fame. He was born on November 24th, 1986. He played 1 year of college football for the U. He was selected by the Saints in the 3rd round of the 2010 draft. He also played for the Seahawks, Packers, and Bears, but none of those teams he really did anything with.
On the Bears, he was decent. He was decent.
He wasn't Jimmy Graham like, though.
He wasn't Jimmy Graham, though.
He did finish his career with the Saints, so that's nice. He was a first-team All-Pro in 2013, a second-team All-Pro in 2011, a 5-time Pro Bowler, 2011, 2013, 2014, 2016, and 2017. He was the receiving touchdowns leader in 2013. He had 719 career catches, 8,545 yards, and 89 touchdowns. His second season in the league, he had 99 catches, 1,300 yards, and 11 touchdowns. Like that, if you drafted him, at whatever cost he was going for in the second season of that draft. Like that was a league-winning draft pick.
Yeah, absolutely. Because you're just Jimmy Graham was unstoppable. He played basketball, and he was of that Antonio Gates archetype of just a guy play basketball and let me just put him at tight end and see how it works. It's uber athletic, and it was just like, all right, Jimmy, you don't block, just run. And they'd match him up against corners, and he would just jump over everybody. That's all he did. He jumped up every touchdown is him jumping over somebody.
Yeah, he had long arms, huge wingspan. He has the Saints all-time record for receptions, first Saints tight end with over 1,000 yards in a season, most touchdowns in a season. He's second all-time for most receiving yards and receiving touchdowns by a tight end in a single season.
Well, see, that's why I drafted the way I drafted, because I thought that Evan Ingram was going to be the next Jimmy Graham for the Broncos. Same head coach, same situation, rookie quarterback. Drew Brees wasn't a rookie, but new quarterback to the system. Maybe he could work out, give him a nice safety blanket. And Evan Ingram, who showed he catch the ball in Jacksonville, he's a Pro Bowler in Jacksonville, so you got a Pro Bowler now. Just do it. And it never worked out. Like he is in purgatory in Denver. I don't understand what happened. We don't ever talk about him. Like, is he on a team?
Yeah, I think he's on maybe Jones's team. Maybe he dropped him, but yeah, like he didn't even hit his floor. But that was a smart way of thinking about Evan Ingram going into the drafts, because if you can hit on a tight end, that gives you such a huge advantage over everybody else.
Like Evan Ingram twice this year, looking at his fantasy, he's ranked 27th tight end. He has 2 games he's hit 13 points, and every other game is below 10. He has 1 game he has 0 points, and a whole bunch of games he has like 5 or 2. Or I mean, his most catches in the game is 5. What I mean? It's just he had a game last game against Washington, but it's Washington, so that was try to play 3D chess and try to foresee something there, and it didn't work out for me.
No, I like the vision. Evan Ingram, probably not a fantasy Hall of Famer, but he made a ballot somewhere. It just didn't get any votes. But yeah, Jimmy Graham. He was working with at-risk youth and military veterans through his Jimmy Graham Foundation. You can make a donation if you want. He is a pilot, which is crazy. He was hit by a car while bicycling in Miami back in May in 2023. Jimmy Graham, welcome to the Fantasy Hall of Fame.
Yeah, welcome to the club.
Yep, and that's it. We'll be back with a finalized playoff bracket next week.
Yep, finalized playoff bracket with predictions.
Yep. Thanks for listening, everybody.
All right, see y'all later.